This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
All right, come on in, make yourself comfortable for the next 30 minutes. Our home is your home, and we are excited to have you here for another edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor. I'm Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Burgamy. As always, we've got a ton of information to share with you today. Case in point, another summer means more friends and more memories made at the 4-H Center in Rock Eagle. This year, however, the camp and its attendees have a bit more to celebrate, and we'll explain. Also on the show, are you frustrated with your garden? Have a few plants that aren't doing so well? Well, before you pull them out of the ground and start over, Walter Reeves, also known as the Georgia Gardener, has some tips and tricks to rejuvenate those stubborn plants.
Plus, we'll head to the inner city of Atlanta and show you how folks there are helping to increase the bee population, which in turn will benefit all of us. These stories and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Recently, Georgia Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall invited members of the State House and Senate Ag Committees to tour Rock Eagle in Putnam County. We had a chance to join the others during the 4-H Center Appreciation Day and learn about the tremendous efforts that go into informing 4-H students about the benefits of agriculture, education, and leadership. Well, it's Rock Eagle's 60th anniversary, and the tour was an opportunity for some of Georgia's lawmakers to see the 4-H Rock Eagle Summer Camp while in session. Nearly 950 campers were on the grounds during the visit.
Most of you know this, but we are the largest industry in this state, which makes us the economic engine in over 3/4 of the counties in this state of Georgia. And Rock Eagle just plays a role in another role that Farm Bureau has. Farm Bureau thinks it's important that we train leaders for the future of agriculture. And Rock Eagle plays a major role in training young people for leadership roles, not just in agriculture.
Dr. Joe Broder, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at the University of Georgia, told the audience that partnerships that have been formed with Farm Bureau are important when it comes to education.
We value this partnership and the support that you've given us to teaching, Zippy to research extension, and having grown up on a family farm where 4-H and Farm Bureau were big, it was our ticket to success.
UGA's Arch Smith, state 4-H leader, led visitors on the tour that included 22 new cabins that are now being utilized by students. Smith said he always enjoys sharing the 4-H history and helping educate visitors about 4-H's bright future.
But we also will continue to help all children understand the need for a viable and productive agriculture because, you know, we all still eat 3 times a day, and I think so many of our young people don't understand the need. Oh, well, maybe not the need, but they don't understand where their food comes from, and that's an important aspect of what we try to teach people, as well as teaching them some healthy living essentials that they need to know.
We met Haley Gillian from Ben Hill County. Haley's one of the counselors at this year's camp. She's served in that role for the past 4 summer sessions.
The days might be long at camp, but it teaches a lot of perseverance and to push through. And it's just a really great experience because you get to spend a lot of time with the kids and they just love you no matter where you're from or what you've done. They're just always so great and cheerful, and they're really what makes camp worth doing.
I think also, and I tell children this often, particularly kids that are about to graduate from high school, I rarely won first. I never was a state champion in anything. I wasn't always the you know, the super kid, but I think the thing that it helped me understand resilience and perseverance and how to stick to a job and get it done, and I think that has been a big benefit for me personally.
Now, if you'd like more information about Rock Eagle and or the Georgia 4-H program, you can visit that online, the rockeagle4h.org.
Now, meantime, in Tifton recently, U.S. Congressman Lynn Westmoreland was given the opportunity to see a number of cutting-edge research projects UGA is conducting to help further agriculture. The tour was a great way for the congressman to learn about exciting new projects that will help agriculture produce more and manage resources better. The Monitor's Mark Wildman has the story.
In this field in Tifton, UGA researchers are working on automated irrigation practices that will help farmers conserve one of our most valuable natural resources. This was just one of the stops on a tour for U.S. Congressman Lynn Westmoreland. The tour highlighted work the university is doing in the fields.
Agriculture is such a big part for the state of Georgia. I mean, it's our largest business, largest employment. And I think 1 out of every 6 jobs in the state of Georgia has something to do with agriculture. So we love coming down, and we do an ag tour every year to come to different parts of Georgia, see the different crops, and to see the new technology. And we just got through witnessing here this irrigation system that's highly technical but so simple. And to try to save water usage, and as you know, water is one of the big concerns that everybody has right now. And with this water-saving system, it's going to allow us to continue to grow, to have business, to eat, and yet still conserve our water resources.
Agriculture depends on good research to make sure crops stay healthy and farmers stay in business. But without good support from our elected officials, projects like this may never get started.
I think so many times we try to vote on things or try to analyze things that we really don't understand. And I don't come from a farming background, and so the times I've been in Congress, this is my 11th year, I was in the state of Georgia for 12. And so we've tried to familiarize ourselves with agriculture. So when they're talking about cotton subsidies, or they're talking about peanuts, or they're talking about crop insurance, you at least have some kind of understanding about what you're talking about. And just like with this irrigation system right here, I'll be able to go back and report, look, this is something we need to put an investment in. This is something that research has paid off in unbelievable. It's even gone to a commercial production now. This type of stuff is what we need to be doing if we really want to progress in our use of our energy and our resources.
The tour also highlighted a future farmstead project. The project is a net zero energy and water lab located on UGA's Tifton campus. It uses recycled materials like denim for insulation. It also uses solar panels and many other energy-saving components to create what a farm of the future may look like in Georgia. Projects like this one and many more will help agriculture grow. And as agriculture grows, so does Georgia's economy. In Tifton, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Mark, thank you, sir. Well, gardening and patience, it goes hand in hand, kind of like Walter Reeves and the Farm Monitor. Still to come on the program, Walter will be along and has some tips on how to administer CPR to those dying plants of yours.
But first, when the Monitor continues, we sit down with the new president of the Georgia Cattlemen Association, Randy Fordham. Stay with us.
I'm Kristin Flowers. I'm currently serving as the South Region Vice President, and I'm proudly representing Brantley County. My grandmother served as her chapter sweetheart, and my grandfather served as his chapter secretary. My uncle, 20 years ago this year, was elected to serve as the Georgia State FFA president, so my ag background runs very deep. Prior to entering middle school, the middle school advisor cornered me at open house really, and she said, "You have to take an ag class." So I enrolled in the basic agriculture education course, and that fall I competed in my first CDE, and it just opened so many doors. The following year I attended a national convention as the youngest person from our chapter to ever attend, and getting to see thousands of blue jackets similar to mine, making me 1 in 1,000, really made me feel comfortable, and I knew that FFA was where I belonged.
To learn more about the National FFA organization, log on to ffa.org.
With long-awaited congressional approval in hand, Georgia Ports Authority is moving forward to deepen the Savannah Harbor. For Southeast-based businesses, this means bigger vessels that will keep them competitive in the global marketplace. But what does 47 feet mean for the people of Georgia?
It will deeply impact my family.
It's very important to me and my family to keep us profitable here on the farm.
Simply put, is it provides me job security.
These competitive advantages, we have to take, we have to do them.
For 352,000 people across the state, the harbor deepening will mean jobs and the promise of a bright future. Daniel is a tugboat relief captain. He started out at the bottom and is working his way up.
I think that if they deepen the river, the ships are bigger, it's going to help local business, and it definitely helps us out because we're busier. It's going to give us newer tugs. The position I'm in on the tugboat that I work, they always need them because we're a stronger tugboat and the ships are getting really big. So the more ships they bring in, the busier I am and the happier I am.
But the deepening of the Savannah Harbor will also impact smaller businesses in the southeast. Rural owns a high-end design-build furniture business in Savannah.
Absolutely. As we speak, the tectonic plates of retail are shifting under our feet. We're going directly to the manufacturers, to the sources, and Georgia Ports have made that available for a small guy like us. Georgia Ports means jobs. This will translate into real dollars, not only for our company being able to grow, but to have a differentiation that most other small businesses that aren't following this lead, it will give us that edge. And not only that, this will also be able to let us grow into possibly wholesaling, possibly branding internationally, who knows?
The deepening also touches the lives of farmers across the region that struggle to stay competitive in the global market. Like Gary, he runs his family's Georgia cotton farm.
If they don't deepen the harbor, we're going to lose our markets to other ports, and it will greatly increase our cost of exporting. That will impact our family greatly. We'll receive a lower price for our product, and we'll be charged more for shipping costs. Deepening the Savannah Harbor will benefit our family greatly. It'll allow ships twice as big to come into the Savannah Harbor and export to other countries cheaper than what they do today.
For us, the connection is always there. Ensuring our future not only impacts business, but ultimately touches the lives of people in Georgia and across the southeast.
Everything trickles down to our families. The money, the benefits, being able to send our kids to school, it's all based on our income, our retirement.
But now, since everything is on an upward and forward move, we are thrilled, we are happy.
Way to go, Georgia.
Well, every year we profile the new Georgia Cattlemen Association president to give you an up-close look at the person making big decisions that affect the cattle industry.
And as Damon Jones reports today, the association is in good hands with longtime cattleman Randy Fordham.
You've often heard the phrase, "it's in his blood." Well, that's especially true for Randy Fordham, who is truly born to be a cattleman. With a deep passion for the cattle industry running throughout his family, Fordham has been around these animals all of his life.
I grew up in southern Georgia, showed cattle ever since I was old enough to start showing. Both my brothers and my sister showed cattle as well, and my wife, we actually showed against each other growing up cattle. So it's been a part of our life. We've had cow-calf operation ever since I was young.
And now he tends to more than 100 head of cows for the Covenant Cattle Company, a business he runs alongside his wife and her brother. While caring for the herd and working a full-time job can lead to some long hours, Fordham wouldn't have it any other way.
And a lot of times, so late evenings, Saturday afternoons or Saturdays, is spent here on the farm, and it's not like a job to me. It's a way of life, and it's something I enjoy, getting out and seeing the cattle and looking at what we've been blessed with, and be able to take those animals and with their performance, do the best we can with them.
With that type of passion, it's no wonder he was asked to serve as the Georgia Cattlemen Association president for the 2015 year. It's a position he doesn't take lightly.
To be here and to represent the cattle producers in the state, it's an honor for me to represent them and hope I can do a job for them that they would want done.
And to do that job, the association needs as many members as possible. While the numbers are at an all-time high, Fordham believes increasing membership even more will give them more of a voice.
You look at the involvement we have in Atlanta, several things that we go to, work with our legislators, we work with Farm Bureau on, we work with the milk producers on, and agribusiness groups to conserve our way of life. You know, our members are our lifeblood, and if we can help promote and improve their industry, then it makes for a long-term goal for all of us to reach.
However, it's not just the present that Fordham is focusing on, as the younger generation must be groomed at an early age to take over in the years to come. That's why he believes having strong youth and mentor programs is a must.
Make our organization stronger through incorporating the youth and the junior organizations like the YCC just was started a few years ago, along with the adults. You know, the adults do a lot of the work today, but the juniors and the youth are involved heavily, and they're going to be here one day to take our place. So we got to make sure they're prepared to take over when it's their turn.
As for what he hopes people will say about his term as president, Fordham just wants to leave the industry in better shape than he found it.
I hope the people said that, you know, Randy supported us and worked for us. He spent time trying to help improve our organization for the long term. And I think that's what we're all here for. You know, we're never promised tomorrow, and we want to make sure that we leave something behind that benefits us for the long term.
Reporting from Royston, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Just a reminder now, if you missed any part of Damon's story or others on today's show, you can still see them in their entirety at our YouTube channel. That's the Georgia Farm Monitor. Once there, browse the archive of stories dating back for 6 years.
Don't forget, once you're done watching all those great stories, just keep clicking and like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page we have set up for you. Also, if you have a story idea or if you just want to leave us a comment or suggestion, feel free to send us a message either on Facebook, and you can also list it or send us the message at the address listed below. That is news@farm-monitor.com. All right, up next, there's always one in every bunch. One of those plants in your garden that just wants to do its own thing, right? Well, time to get your hands dirty with the Georgia gardener, Walter Reeves. This month, he's going to show us a simple yet effective way to whip those stubborn plants into shape. Stay tuned.
Visitors to the USDA Farmers Market learned about the bats and the bees, two animals that don't seem to have much in common, but are a big help to humans.
Bees are a really important part of our agriculture system. They pollinate somewhere between 15 and 20 billion dollars worth of fruits, vegetables, and nuts for American consumers every year.
Bats are so important because they pollinate plants, they spread seeds, and they also consume large numbers of insects.
The bee and bat populations are adversely affected by various factors, some natural and some man-made. But there are ways you can help. It can be as easy as selecting high-quality pollinator plants for your garden or window box. You can find the best plants for your area and learn more about pollinators at the USDA website. For the U.S. Department of Agriculture, I'm Bob Ellison.
Hey, we're at the beautiful rose garden at Gibbs Gardens up near Ball Ground, Georgia. And these roses are spectacular during the summertime. But last year, when I was here, there was one rose that didn't look so good. It's this one right here. It just had a couple of limbs on it, a few blooms on it. It really was a weakened plant. You may have a weakened plant in your landscape, an azalea or a hydrangea or something. It just doesn't look like it's really growing very healthily. Well, you can rejuvenate these plants easily if you know a special potion that you can apply around the root system. Let me show you how to do it on this rose. First thing to do is take away all the mulch around the rose because we need bare ground underneath. That's good. And now that we have the bare ground here, we can mix up our potion. Now you see in the tub right here, I've got soil conditioners, just ground up pine bark as soil conditioner. You can find it in any garden store. But I want to put some nutrients in there as well. And the nutrients that I like are slow release organic type fertilizers. This is composted and sterilized sewage sludge. One brand name is Milorganite. The other one, this is a Hollytone, Rosetone that the Espoma people make. It's also a very good slow release fertilizer. We'll take the sewage sludge instead and mix it in. It doesn't take a lot, about a half a pint there. And with my fork, we'll mix it in with the organic matter. Let's put a little bit of this azalea camellia food in there. It's made out of feather meal and kelp and bone meal and all sorts of organic things. And we'll mix that in too. Now we've got a mixture that is very, very rich but still has organic matter and some nice phosphorus and slow release nitrogen. All the things this rose is really going to appreciate. Okay, now we've got it mixed up. I'll take this, put it on the ground. Now you might think that it'd be enough to just put the mulch and stuff on the ground, the nutrients on the ground. Actually, we're going to do something called vertical aeration. Use a spading fork. Pitchforks are not so good, but a spading fork is great. And we'll just jam it into the ground multiple times around the plant right here so it has organic matter and the fertilizer all mixed into the root zone of the plant. You can see all the holes that I've made. It's mixed in a lot of this ground pine bark material into the ground around it, and that vertical aeration gives this rose, ooh, it's going to be really happy when it makes some limbs this year. After we have poked all our holes, we'll take the pine straw, put it back in place. And when you come to visit Gibbs Gardens, you come see this rose right now. This is going to be one spectacular rose in bloom. Now you can find tips like this anytime you want from the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, finally today, as we all know, honeybees play a vital role in pollinating many of the crops growers produce. However, bees are struggling to find adequate, diverse food sources due to habitat loss.
Yeah, even the White House has taken notice. In fact, they recently jumped on board to help these hardworking insects by announcing the Million Pollinator Garden Challenge to increase forage areas. Now, here in Georgia, the Bayer North American Bee Care Program has teamed up with Piedmont Park's Education Garden as part of its Feed a Bee initiative to bring forage to the bees that migrate annually to the park's apiary. In addition to a pollinator garden, visitors also have access to a vending machine offering complimentary Georgia-sourced plant seeds that will bloom and provide food for bees.
I think it's great. I've been working on this project since I started at the Conservancy, so we're really excited to really help, to have the apiary ameliorate our garden, our orchard, and it's such a symbiotic relationship to have the bees coming in. And now with the Feed a Bee program, we'll even have more food for the bees, if you will.
Who'd ever thought that we'd be here together and the Farm Monitor would be in Piedmont Park in downtown Atlanta to reach out to consumers, to students, and talk about pollinator health, personal responsibility, why we need to have certain products in the market to help us in this endeavor. So this is precisely, it's a blueprint of what we've got to do more of, and that's having this outreach, partnering with industry, and then interfacing with consumers one-on-one.
Did you see the arm on Gary Black?
He's got a great pitching arm.
Major League Baseball, I think it's calling, That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, just a reminder for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm. Check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming, plus the Farm Monitor show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.